All right. So, hi, welcome back, my little subscribers and whoever might catch this in the replay. I had a little time and I've done a little, I guess you would say, road traveling in the beef sector. And some questions kind of came across my mind. Um, and it pertains to Quanney and Treecey. So I ran across, what is her name? Billie Jean. So I ended up running across Billie Jean's channel this morning, actually, as I was getting ready for work. And I listened to her live that she had, I think it was last night. And they were talking about Kwani. And they were just talking about who she was as a person and how I came across that channel is because I think Tracy said something about my beautiful Billie Jean or my baby girl Billie Jean and it was as if she was sharing that particular live in agreement to what was being said. And I thought, this is interesting. So like I was saying earlier, I'm looking at Billie Jean's live, and it was probably one of the most coherent, thought provoking, um, well hosted lives I've seen since this whole StreamYard and 50 people get online and they talk and they're either talking over each other or their paneling is kind of circling a bit around the same question or the same people. But with this one, I felt like it kind of, ran pretty smoothly. And so while I was listening, I had a few thought provoking questions myself. And since I had already missed the live, I figured I'd just create my own. I mean, hey, I do have a troll channel, right? So I'm listening it about Kwani. And some of the things that kept playing back in my mind was how many people actually supports Kwani. How many people that actually um, support her in the ways of repeating her laugh, like Kelly Love. He would replay and replay her laugh, even at the end of some of his videos. Um, I've seen James Colwell repeat things like, and I love this shit, and I love this shit. I've seen James Colwell do that. I've seen quite a bit of, YouTubers like take some of her colloquialisms and just kind of run with it. And I think there was a panelist on there last night on Billie Jean's panel, and she was saying how Kwani act upon what is shown and given the most light, like her laugh. Or somebody else said she take bits and pieces of people and she replays them. And she said it differently to get a laugh or to get a reaction. And then I got to thinking about the whole Jason thing, and they were talking about how, it's so funny and ironic that she's hollering about not the IRS, but the FBI is after her, and it's all because of Jason. And she was online crying the other week or so, and then they're talking about calling truces, and they got each other phone numbers, and I was kind of like listening to Billie Jean's panel, and I'm like, you guys are kind of right. You guys are right. Now, it's no secret, and I'm making it very much so known that I am a Sean Bradley and a James Colwell viewer. I've been watching both of them since 2016. And although they both fallen out with each other, I still watch them. Maybe not faithfully either one, because like I said, I'm a working woman, but I do watch both of them. So I'm not making it a secret. So even though over on Billie Jean's street, I noticed that they don't care too much for Sean Bradley, I still agree with a lot of their points as it pertains to um, Quanney and Treecey and all of them. But what I guess I found more interesting is how you guys in the beef sector, you guys you don't take threats seriously. And I thought to myself, like, these people are really just moving along their day and not really paying attention to what is being said. And they continue to do the same thing. And the reason why I put Quanney and Treecey name in the title is because Quanney and Treecey, I know, have to have received so many threats. I've heard people online tell both of them, I am going to pull up hoe to Treecey or to Quanney, when you get your ass whooped for doxing me, just know I've warned you. And Quanney was like, I'll deal with it when I get there to that, I'll cross that bridge when I get it. And I was thinking to myself, we've seen both of you online, and there's absolutely nothing about both of the females that is scary. Absolutely nothing. I think they both talk so big and bad, and they both get real big and bad when the screen is black. But they get so big and bad online. But then we clearly see Treecey call the police the moment someone says they're coming to San Antonio. So you're really not about that life, Treecey. And then I just sit back and I think of the dangerous games that are being played. Addresses are being thrown out. Phone numbers are being thrown out. Children's schools are being thrown out. And it's almost as if you guys don't take threats seriously. You got the No Dragging Kids campaign, and they're time stamping, and this whole No Dragging Kids been going on for months. Y'all might just be catching on to it, but it's been going on for about a year at least. They got time stamps of what the original title was, and if they change the title, they have the new title. And I'm thinking, is the beef sector really that important that you're willing to risk your life for a few $1,000s a month? And I say a few thousand, and that's if you putting in the work. And let me tell you about putting in the work. On this troll page I have, that I'm speaking on now, I have to, unless I choose to skip, I have to sit through y'all commercials. Now, on my real page, honey, I have premium YouTube, and I refuse to sit through any live longer than 30 minutes to an hour. But I damn sure ain't finna watch no commercial. So on my real channel, I have the premium YouTube. But I noticed in one of Treecey's video, I want to say every 2 to 5 minutes, there was a commercial thrown in there. And I'm thinking, sis, if you're that hard up for those advertising dollars, get a job, a real one, a real one. But then I got to thinking, she probably cannot get a real job and show her face in public because she's created so many enemies. So I left Billie Jean's chat and I decided to, scroll the streets again. And then I came across Rico. And then that's where Treecey and Rico are at each other's throat. And I said, in a lot of these beefs that I'm watching, some of the common denominators is Treecey and Quanney. It's almost as if they stir the pot and create the mess, and then they run out, and then they become the victims. And then people who don't like other people join in with them because now we have this commonality. But then in real life, you guys wouldn't fuck with each other in real life, I was listening to Mimi on Mimi, I guess it's Mimi Checking Fake Hoes. I was listening to her on Billie Jean's live, and she was just talking about the police and how they really don't, they always calling the police and she don't fool with that type of energy, and how people really in real life ain't about that life, and something about going to somebody's 32. And I was just saying, but you rock with Treecey. You rock with people who are known to call the police. You rock with people who consistently write checks that their behinds can't cash. And we say that because we know that their real life, they're afraid. Sean Bradley exposed Quanney fear when he had to have an emergency meeting to tell everybody, hey, we're going to let Quanney come to Vegas. Please don't try to fight her. Y'all don't remember that? But yet, Quanney would sit here and tell somebody, I don't care, bitch. I will dox you and your kid. You're next. If you piss me off, I will dox you. I will dox you, I will dox you, I will dox you. And the doxing thing is only harmful or hurtful um if somebody shows up to somebody's house, right? And I say only because I think that's how you guys think. You just think, oh, if I show up to this person's house, then I'm sorry, if I expose this person's house, then hey, it's public knowledge. Anybody can know. All you gotta do is Google their name and yada yada yada. So I don't think it's doxing, and I like to dox, and I like to tell and expose people's business, right? And it's all fun and games until somebody actually get hurt. Then it becomes, a travel back into time as to how these people even find this particular one person. And then if somebody get hurt, you become an accessory to a crime. Because one thing about murders and investigations is they want to find the link. How did these people even know each other? And just imagine if the news hit and it comes out this YouTuber is killed behind this YouTube person, who this person leaked this person's information, and that's how this other person found this person's house, and they came to the house, and somebody got killed. Or even in indifference, Treecey, you can't leave your house. You can't leave your house. I mean, you can, but can you really? I've literally watched Treecey over the last year fall out with everybody she's come in contact with. She really fell out with Deanna Irvin, but it's like, come on, Deanna, we can't let Sean win, And then it appears that she may have fallen out with Quanney. And I'm like, because she shared the Billie Jean video on her community feed, and that was like, well, damn, is her and Quanney, have they now fallen out? But one thing about Treecey and Quanney is that they fall out with each other all the time, seemingly, but then they get back together because they got a common enemy and a commonality, doxing. And the truth of the matter is, Treecey needs this beef. I don't know about Quanney, but Treecey needs it. She needed it. If Treecey did not have a beef with anybody, and I challenge, this is a challenge. I challenge everyone in this sector to not allow Treecey on your panels, to not talk about Treecey, to not include her name or anything in a conversation. Pretend as if Treecey do not exist. You guys would probably be amazed at how crazy she'd get. Treecey financially cannot handle life without the beef sector. She needs it. She needs the controversy because everyone knows controversy bring in the dollars. But it's a challenge. I challenge Fi Babe. I challenge. Well, I know Sean Bradley definitely tries his best not to talk about her, but he definitely laughs at her. But I challenge all of you, even the enemies of Sean Bradley, even the enemies of Fi Babe, even the enemies of whoever. How about y'all go like a week? Go a week and just not mention Treecey. Don't allow Treecey on your panels and see what happens. See who she fall out with just to make a check. Even if you think you cool with Treecey, if you don't allow her on your panel, let's see how fast she fall out with you. Why? Because she needs the views. She needs the ads. She needs the money, which I don't know how you retire at 50. I mean, I know military vets, okay, that put in 20 years in the military straight out of high school, that was about 40 with benefits. And then some of them still have to wait a few years to get 100% of the disability or whatever. So to be 38 to 40, I can see you retiring from the military, but hairdressing with no benefits already, how you consider yourself retired from hairdressing? Talking about you did your time and you put in for it, when there's no 401k and cutting hair cuts and smiles or smile cuts or cuts by us. You get what I'm saying? Y'all believe that whole lie if y'all want to. Treecey needs the drama. And I didn't want to make it just solely on Treecey because Quanney needs it too. I don't know if Quanney needs the drama financially. Quanney needs the drama for attention. Quanney friends, she always says like it's an entertainment thing for her. But Quanney needs you guys around. She needs that attention. If you guys didn't pay these two girls attention, what would happen? I challenge you all. That's my challenge to you. And this is not to necessarily troll them or to hurt anyone or to say that I'm against anybody. But a lot of the issues on these streets starts with them. Pay attention. Pay attention to people who fall out with every single body, every single person that they've come encounter with. Or better yet, you know, when I always have people who fall out with somebody and they can't see, and it's every time I turn around, like, I don't talk to this person, I don't talk to this person. I'm like, what's wrong with you? If you fall out with every single body you come in contact with, what's wrong with you? Is it them or is it you? Right? Sometimes we have to do that self-reflection. I know I've done it for myself. If I'm falling out with people, if I don't get along with people, what am I doing? And I have actually gone to the horse's mouth. What did I do to you? But I know I've watched with several of the content creators that they've both fallen out with. And that person have said, what have I done to you? What have I done? And a lot of times they get silent. They shut their mouth. They can't say nothing, or they regurgitate the same old boring reads. Listen, once you say one thing, if you call Sean Bradley trap mouth once, please don't call him trap mouth 20 more times. It's not funny after the first time. I'm sorry to tell you this, but these reads y'all are doing are so third grade. I mean, trout mouth, dry lips, white stuff around your mouth, and then you turn around and you talk about one person and take all these things too, and then you look at another person's video and they got the same issues going on. And I'm like, so y'all ain't gonna call out the no edges, the white mouth, the bumps, the nasty house. You ain't gonna call that out. You know, the picking and choosing in this sector is another thing. I might make a video about that too. I don't know. I'm kind of bored today. But yeah, I just think it's crazy that these two kind of run this sector, even with the newcomers like Triple Red X and stuff like that. Like, I've never heard of him, but I'm noticing how quickly when things dry out, when people are drying out and content for them is drying out, they go to people like that Pettyville girl and Triple Red X. And for those of you that are new coming in, Brianna, Triple, you guys really, 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 really need to think about it before you take sides. And sometimes you look at people's personas and you just simply don't like them. And I completely understand because I'm the same way. But be mindful of who you link up with. Some of these people are just leeches. They just latch on because they need the content. They need to be if I'm drying up out here, whose panel can I jump on to stay relevant? That's why I challenge. Nobody puts Treecey on their panel. Don't put Quanney on your panel. Just don't. Don't let them call in. Don't keep them in the back door of your StreamYard. Do that and see what happens. Just see what happens in the streets. See if you actually find out if you like these people. See, just see if what you think you know of a person based off of the opinions of one is really truly even valid. Just try those things first. And I say that because, I have really been watching this sector. And one of the things you guys, I got to touch on this. One of the things you guys really, really love to do, besides doxing, of course, is this flagging thing. Okay. I know in the grand scheme of things, you guys think, flag their channel. Ooh, we're going to pop them and get rid of their channel. Not really. You really won't. Just as quick as they made one channel, they can make another channel, and they can make another channel, and they can make another channel, and they can make another channel. So yeah, if you might slow them down for 24 hours, but all it takes is for those friends to say, go to this person's chat because this person flagged their channel. They can't get on it for 30 days, 90 days. They can't get on it, or the channel is gone. They created a new one. Go to the backup page. So flagging does what really? Nothing. Nothing. And the drama and the mess that Treecey keeps up, I know she's being flagged left and right. I know she probably have videos in review. Quanney says she doesn't do it for the money, and I could believe that. She might not be doing it for the money, but one person we know that does this for the money is Treecey. So I know she had videos in review, but them ads, oh my God, I can't remember the name of that video, but it was one of her most recent ones. But she had got to have had at least 20 ads. I said, that's more ads than a damn 30-minute movie or a 30-minute TV show on actual live TV. All of those ads, girl, you are poor. You are really poor. All of those. And AdSense are just what they are. Cents. Cents. So like I know Jay Wilson was one time saying that he makes a pretty penny on YouTube. Listen, $2,000, maybe $3,000 a month for some people, not everybody, because it dwindles depending on how many videos you make and things of that nature. But $2,000 or $3,000 a month ain't nothing in 2020. Okay, there are people out here with rent. Okay, apartments for rent for $1,000 a month. So at best, your YouTube video is paying the rent. If you're actually really being able to have a very nice, very luxurious apartment, let's just say that in 2020, and some of you driving cars and the maintenance of having a family, $2,000 to $3,000 a month ain't caca. Okay. Hell, like I said, for me, my mortgage is easy $2,000 by itself. So if I was doing anything on YouTube and I made $2,000, YouTube would literally only pay my mortgage. So is it really worth your dignity to just pay your mortgage? To just pay your mortgage? Or to just pay your rent? Is it really worth your life to be sitting up here being threatened, to have to worry about walking out your door, to have to be known by the police department like, oh my God, here goes this person calling again, just take a report? Or what happens when something really do happen to you and it's videotaped and recorded that the police officers told you to leave that person alone? Who really has the upper hand? Not to go back on my last video and I talk about Treecey and Babe again, but just think about that for a second. The police literally said, if I were you, I would just not talk to her again. And she was like, well, that's the thing. We don't talk. We just do this, our YouTubes. He said, I wouldn't even talk about her on YouTube. I would just not involve myself with that person. That would be the best thing for you to do. And you would think any normal person would listen. Any normal, straightforward thinking person who wants to cry victim all the time would listen. But Treecey didn't listen. She didn't listen. She then came on YouTube and made her thumbnail a picture of Babe's daughter. And then down in her chat, once again, there was one of her little mods or her little people that said, did her mama keep her off of YouTube? But it doesn't matter if her mama keep her off for YouTube or own it. You know why? Because another lady had just told Quanney, I haven't bothered anybody on here, and I damn sure haven't brought my children on here. I don't know why my child is being a topic of discussion. I've never brought my children to YouTube. However, her child or her children ended up on YouTube. So you guys set your own rules and then you break them. I drag your kids if you bring them on YouTube. It's fair game. But what about the parents who didn't bring them? And y'all still did it. How can you women support other women that not only drag children, but outright put people's lives in danger? And I say you women because that's probably statistically 95 to 97% of the viewership, statistically. And so it's heartbreaking watching this sometimes. And I honestly, which I don't mind YouTube drama. I have actually gone back to $1 million YouTube drama. You know, the Shane Dawsons, the Jeffree Stars, you know, the people who actually took YouTube and made money. So yeah, even though they have drama, drama isn't all that they have going on. Okay. So like when the drama is over for the beauty community, them bitches go back to making millions, millions, millions. And they have millions of subscribers. We have people literally down here that are making pennies, if you ask me, at this point. And you guys have done the most despicable things I have ever seen. I like to go. Funky Neva say, I'm gonna go back to my rich white woman style, and I'm gonna go back over there to the rich drama section where they got millions of dollars, product lines, companies, and businesses, and still have some of that, you know, they still have a little beef and a little drama. But one thing I can say is nobody is doxing homes. Rich Luck's apartment got broken into, and they, even though he's part of the drama channels that report on the makeup artists and stuff like that, they rallied around him. Here, it doesn't happen that way. You know, here, don't get me wrong, they rallied around him, but they also dragged him for, you know, oh, you're asking for money, da 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 da. But here is just no empathy for anybody. You guys just want to flag channels, repeat the same thing of pull up ho, I'm going to dox you and your entire family, I'm calling the FBI. Oh my God, the FBI. Whew, child. I don't know how many times the FBI have been called here. The first thing y'all need to start learning how to do is at least get you a goddamn lawyer and get somebody to start sending some cease and desist letters like the rich folks do on the other sector. Because, baby, I ain't never seen nothing like this. The poor folks call the FBI. Meanwhile, the rich folks is out here sending out cease and desist letters. I'd rather see a cease and desist letter presented by my lawyer who is being paid by me than to sit up here and call the FBI because somebody is, one, calling me ugly, talking about my child, harassing me, starting a petition, those type of things we're calling the FBI about. Honey, get you some money and get you a cease and desist letter and tell the people to stop talking about your kids and then sue them for whatever they do have, which is for most of them nothing. I mean, what you're gonna get from Treecey? Wigs? What you gonna get from Quanney? We've seen their house and apartments. We know they have nothing to offer. But to waste government time chasing these women down who really all they want is some jail time, give it to them. Give it to them. Let them bury themselves in a hole so deep that they go to jail for quite a while. But you guys have got to, I don't know, switch it around. I know Sean Bradley has said one time, the same people that's calling for peace are the same people that are still looking at the beef sector. And I guess in a way he's right, because even though we're calling for peace, we are not turning a blind eye. We are not. We are still following and tracking, and myself included. And I guess if I don't report on it, if I don't watch it, then they have no viewership, which, like I said, I'm definitely not over in the sector as much as I used to be. I have gone to the rich white folk side. But and I'm joking around when I say that. I'm literally saying it's sad to see us African American women and men really go as hard as we go. It's okay to beef. I'm not saying be perfect and stellar and pretend that we're all going to get along. It's the level you guys go. I mean, it's on. I mean, and the reason why I said something today is because Billie Jean was like telling, I think somebody named Five Babe Squad or Five Babe All Day or something like that. She was telling them like, go get your squad and come over here and really threaten me. And I'm like, what? You're really calling for that? You don't know these people. You don't know the craziness of anybody on these computer screens. It is so easy to talk big and bad because you think you're safe within your four walls, but you really don't know who you're talking to. I mean, like legit, you really don't know who you're talking to. You really don't know if they're in your backyard or at I don't know or in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like they could be in New York and you can be in Florida. Or they could be in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and you could be in Jacksonville, Florida. I have seen people get killed for less or hurt for less than what you guys do on YouTube. And it doesn't stop. And it doesn't stop because I really think the people in the chat and the content creators that create this mess, they have no life and they have nothing to lose. And the reason, and I'm gonna end on that note. I'm gonna end with what Rico told Treecey. He said, at the end of the day, Treecey, when I pull up on your ass, I have nothing to lose. Let me tell y'all something. Whether you believe that he's going to do something to her or not, because you think you know somebody from the internet, there's two, in my opinion, two dangerous people in the world. One is the ones that have nothing to lose, and the second one is a racist white lady. Remember that. And I said racist white lady, by the way. I didn't say all. And I'm gonna give you a quick little history on why I said that, and then I'm for real gone. If you go back and you look at history, some of the most horrific things that happen to African American women, we always say it's the white man, it's the white man, it's the white man. But if you dig deeper into those stories, baby, most of the common, most, not all, but most of the common denominators are racist white women. And when you think about Emmett Till, why he did, or Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, why was that massacre started? When I think about that movie Rosewood, why did that happen? Hmm? Just with those three scenarios, you know why it happened? A white lady was a damsel in distress, child. A white lady. So so just think about those while we're ending this, since we're out, because we are in 2020 dealing with civil rights. So I wanted to give you some education before I get up out of here, and not just some beef sector stuff. But you guys, that's my challenge. So what's my point of making this video? Call to action. Be mindful that these threats are not always idle. That's number one. Number two, stop hosting Treecey and Quanney on your panels. Don't let them on your StreamYard. Don't even let them type in your chats. See how fast they turn on you. It's not you they like, it's the attention that they're getting. And I have no problem with any one of these two ladies. It's just an experiment for me. What would happen if the beef sector went silent on Treecey and Quanney?